Hello there, welcome back to RTF. I'm Roberto Cruz, and in today's video we've got chapter 11 of our Studio 5000 Logix Emulate playlist, and we're going through chapter 11. So before we dive into the content, I just got a couple of things to say. So first of all, I'd like to thank you all guys for the support. So the channel, our YouTube channel is now up. For obvious reasons, I buffered up a little bit so I could have some time to get my head around how I would be posting those videos and what frequency as well. So first is obviously now the channel is online. So I really appreciate all the support, all of my friends and colleagues. It's been just wonderful. You guys, checking us out on LinkedIn, as well as on our Instagram page. So I really appreciate all the support on this. A special thanks to my wife. She's just been wonderful. She's just, she was just as excited as I was when I launched it. So, my wife, Alessandra, so I love you. Thanks for your help. And, you've been just incredible. And, you might be wondering why, if you guys, one of those guys have been watching, the whole playlist, and is one of those interested in, PLC and, these special playlists on the emulate controllers. So you might be wondering why I skipped chapter 10. So chapter 10 is going to be an exclusive content that's going to be available on our website. And this is coming, so it is due to come soon. So I'll let you guys know once that is up and running. So stay tuned, and if you do appreciate the content, please, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll leave you can find all the details of our social media in the description of this video, as well as the actual manual that we are going through, which is the Getting Results Guide for the Studio 5000 Logix Emulate. Okay, so without further ado, let's just dive into this, right? Let's just move it in. Back to our virtual machine. Right. Chapter 11. So we are wrapping it up. So basically, this is the final chapter on this playlist. And once I go through all those bits and pieces I wanted to do in this video, I'll give you guys some heads up of obviously the future content that I'm planning to make. All right. So chapter 11 is about the trace window. So in one of the previous videos, I think was the actual, the former one, isn't it? Wasn't it? I think it was the one that we went through, or the one before, that we went through the breakpoint instructions and the trace point instructions, right? So there's just a single bit that I didn't miss, but it was something which was obviously now, detailed in a bit more, with a bit more details actually, described on chapter 11. So, which is about the trace window. So this is the trace windows. We've already gone through some of the bits and pieces here. So you have, some of the bits and pieces, like you can ignore any trace that is, if you obviously during a PLC scan, if none of the value changes, you can ignore by pushing this button, right? I'm not going to mess around with this right now, but it's a pretty straightforward thing, isn't it? So we are displaying all the new traces, and this is the bit that obviously I wanted to talk about very briefly. Really, I don't want to spend too much time on this. So log new traces to a disk. It's just basically is going to create a log file, a text file where you can show. Where you can, record all the logs created during your test benching code, right? So what we're gonna do is before we start, let's just run a single scan first again. So if we are all online here, so if we can toggle the start button, here we go. So we got a first breakpoint, which is right here. So this is the breakpoint, and obviously as soon as we push OK. You've got the trace point, the first variable here, obviously 26, right? Is our first addition. So if we push OK, we go to the next rank. So we've got our second addition plus, and then we've got obviously the result on the final rank. We've got the result, which is the average, right? So basically, the sum of variable A and B and divided by 2, which gives us the average, right, which is 30 at the moment, right? So let me just, we can clear that out. Let's just clear all of them out. So now what we're going to do now is we're going to record those traces and save them into a log file, right, into a text file. So what we do, we just type here, we just select here, browse trace log file, and we are calling this RTFM log file. There was already a log file there. We can actually override that, can we? So select that, press open, file already exists, overwrite, right? Here we go. I'm just going to remove all traces. We're going to run this a couple of times so I can show you guys what this useful tool does. So we push start again. Here we go. Our first breakpoint, followed by our second breakpoint, and this obviously the recorder of the variable A. Push OK. We've got our second breakpoint, followed by variable A and B, and our final, which is the average, which is now equals to 31. So every time we run it through a rescan, it's going to be add a couple of, obviously it's going to be updating them variables. So let's just toggle that off and on again, and we do the same. Push OK. So now it's equal 28, and now it's equal 36. So because I've got a one shoot instruction, it's just adding by 1. So every time we run that, it's going to be adding the variable plus 1, and then restoring that into the actual variable, right? Here we go, 32. So next time we run, we have 29 followed by 37, which gives us 33. Okay. So if we keep running, we're going to keep adding 1 to variable A and B, and then having, the average calculated in the end. So in order for you to be able to open your file, you must close your log file, right? So let's just push close, otherwise it's going to issue you a warning, and it's not going to allow you to open up the file. So if we go back here, this is our file, and you see, this is the beauty. So all the trace point recorded within your trace window is going to be stored on your log file. So pretty handy stuff. Again, to be very honest, I've never used that in my life, but it's it's nice to know that this is capable of doing such things. So it can turn out to be handy at some point, even for myself. Really, I kind of like that. To be honest, just by making those videos is going to be wonderful, because I'm going to learn a lot. Especially on things that always went overlooked to me, really. So let's just go through and close that, right? And this is the final bit that I wanted to show you guys. Chapter 11 is the final chapter on the Studio 5000 Logix emulate. Excuse me, guys, I'm a bit cold here. Right. So this is the final chapter. So we wrapped up now this Studio 5000. So and basically let me just switch back to the main camera. We just laid the foundations to what is coming up now, which is the Logix Designer. So we're going to be diving into the Logix Designer, which is obviously the actual PLC programmer software, right? And what we've learned out of the Studio 5000 Logix emulate, we're going to be using emulate for us to be able to go through all the user manuals available on the Logix Designer. So again, thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching, for following, for hitting the like button if you like, or even the dislike if you dislike, for subscribing. That's wonderful. I'm quite happy with the result. I know this is a long journey. I hope this journey lasts for a long time. And obviously I trust you guys going to be watching and obviously dropping off all your comments and questions and queries. I would be happy to respond and to engage. So again, next couple of steps, I'll be letting you guys know on our Instagram page. Again, all the details about social media, websites you can find on the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. you know, I'll see you next time. And, you know, lots of nice things are coming, right? Thank you very much. And always RTFM. I'll see you next time.